on the Red Pill News. Burning through the BS, man. Burning through it every day. I read articles, I see these things, and it gives you a frame of mind of mentality. I'm gonna dissect one in a little while with you guys about this University of California professor and what they think about Brittany Griner, more about what they think about the United States and how we're racist, we hate women, we hate lesbians. If you read her article, and the people who print these things, it's just trash. There's no truth to it. There's no nothing. You're just assuming what the public feels, but instead of talking to people. All you gotta do is talk to people. I talk to people all the time. Hey, how you feel? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? People will tell you whether you want to hear it or not. People will tell you. So, Red Pill News, of course. Hello, everybody. Of course, Donald Trump going under his problems with the law, getting raided. Trump. I see this whole thing as one big, horrible comedy show. It's like abuse of power is the normal, but it always has been, hasn't it? Has it ever been equal for everybody? No. Has it ever been even remotely? No. The wealthy out there are in control. You are not in control. They are in control. You work for them. If you step out of line, they'll zap you, man. They'll zap you on. But in this world, it's interesting that people they set a precedent by going after a president, a former president, with no real clearly defined goals. I haven't seen the warrant, I haven't seen the subpoenas, I haven't seen any of that stuff. Like most people, it's just a political game back and forth. But we do know that they did raid Trump's office, his files, his Mar-a-Lago. They went through his wife's panty drawer, man. What was up with that? Gotta inspect these panties. Make sure there's no evidence in them. Let me sniff this and check it out. Sniff out some evidence. What are you doing? Sniffing out evidence. God damn it. I learned it from my dog. Don't judge me. So it's like every day you can look at the news, the carefully selected, crafted news for you. Every day you can look at the news and you see all this BS going on, of this, that, and it's always some new shocking story. And people are becoming really desensitized to everything around them. If you want desensitization, talk to people who live in New York City. I mean, I grew up in and around, and the stuff you get used to seeing every day. Yeah, it's not shocking anymore. Once it's not shocking, you're past that. And then it takes all the more to up the ante on the next shock value. You got to go really long and far with some New Yorkers to truly shock them. You know what I mean? Aliens could land on 42nd Street and get out and start humping each other, and people wouldn't even look. Or the ones that would look, like, take pictures and put it on their thing. You know what I mean? That's the city. So then you go out into the country where the shocking acts of display is not so in your face. Some places, yes, some places, no. I mean, it depends on where. Like, I think in New York's in the middle of nowhere, but it's got Cornell University and it's got a lot of extreme liberals, and they not only tolerate a lot of stuff, they let people get away with murder, and I mean, truly. So, they want to disarm the police and all that. Ithaca, New York, and Berkeley, California are the liberal armpits of the United States of America. You know what I mean? So you got to look at it like that. In the city, people are just trying to live their lives and survive every day. Not a lot of people have time even to comment on other people's crappy lives or other people's countries. But I've had friends who are highly successful people. Man, they got the mansions, they got the cars, they got all the life. They got nothing to do, so they look at other things to pick on. Let me comment on this and whatever. One of their favorite things to point out is the guns here in the United States, because like in Australia and England, they don't have them. And we're not willing to give up our rights, and it's also the right of self-preservation. more so than hunting. I don't have rifles because I want to go hunting. I have weapons because in case someone's trying to break down my door and I call 911 and it takes them 45 minutes to show up. By the time they show up, it's over. They're just mopping up with a bucket of blood. You know what I mean? Taking pictures of the scene, putting the tape around your body and whatever. So no, 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 no. And also, we've gotten to a point racially very disturbing on how white people are being targeted all over. I mean, every which way. I just watched a video of a Wendy's worker. A worker punched this old white man in the side of the head because he argued about his drink. And then, the guy's in a coma because of this. He could die because this guy let it loose. So why is it that people find it so easy to victimize others? Because they are being encouraged to do so by the liberal left. If you listen to everything that they say, these are the people who are putting you in danger. It's not the white supremacist right. I hear all kinds of stuff about that. Yeah, they're out there too. But the ones who have the voice are the liberal left. They're the extremists that have this voice. Now you look at the Democratic Party and what disarray it's in. I've got friends. I'm sorry, I got friends of all types and colors. I put people in two categories: asshole, not asshole. And the ones that aren't, even some of them are my friends. I have people like my good friend Art, who lives in Far Rockaway, a predominantly black area, black and Spanish. He's afraid to go out. He won't go to the city because it's too dangerous. It's getting real dangerous everywhere. He said, and we were talking about it last night on how it used to be 20 years ago, and he said it's way worse now. And I'm thinking, how can that be when you listen to the Democratic leadership over those areas? And how could it be that they don't lift a finger? They don't do anything to help people, or the things that they think are helping people aren't helping people, like bail reform. The ones who need bail reform are the ones who committed crimes. They're criminals, they're sociopaths. So, oh yeah, so we'll just let them go. Does that help the black community or Spanish community or white or any community? How about the community? Does it help anybody to let people go and they commit more crimes and they do something worse? They're being encouraged to do this. Encouraged. So it's obvious what's going on. And then if you say anything about it, oh, you're labeled. You're a racist. You're a racist for saying that. Racist, really? Why is it if there's ever a crime between a white person to a black person, they're sure to put the color of their skin in there? They're white. They did this. It was a hate crime. Whatever they're going to allege, all kinds of stuff, but not black to white. They're excluding people. It's like the movie Do the Right Thing, right? So it's a great movie, uh, artistically shot, not true to life, at all, because that was Spike Lee's version of what life was like in Bed-Stuy at that time. I can tell you this about Bedford-Stuyvesant: you're never safe in that place, no matter where. You can be sitting in your car, your apartment, you can be walking down the street, you can have a police escort. You're never safe. In the movie Do the Right Thing, it all focused on this Italian food restaurant, one of the last holdouts, because Bed-Stuy used to be all Italian way, way, way back in the day. This guy was a holdout with his sons. One son didn't want to be there. The other one was cool with everything. And they basically made pizza, sold people pizza. This guy comes in and then he sits down, this black dude, and he's like, troublemaker anyway. And he's like looking up at the wall, sees all these pictures of Italian American actors and whatever, And he's like, how come there's no black people up on the wall? And that's how the whole thing kind of started. But all through the movie, you have this push and pull on the black, white, in a predominantly black neighborhood, right? And a lot of isms coming out. But the one thing that was completely missing from the movie was the amount of black on black crime in those areas like Bedford-Stuyvesant, because there are hundreds of victims per day of terrible crimes in those neighborhoods. And to look the other way and ignore it, or I mean, come on, Spike Lee, you're going to make a political statement against something, but totally leave a huge element out: the crime. right? The crime. So black people who live in those neighborhoods know that they are unsafe. They know that they're not safe, not because of the police. Oh, you got some bad cops. I know that. I've seen that firsthand. But they get desensitized to all the crap that goes on. Then they start to generalize and start looking at all people as the same, like they're all criminals. So now we have this thing where people are becoming afraid of black people. And it used to be like that. Then people were chastised in the 80s that you shouldn't be racist, you shouldn't look at a black person that they're going to hurt you or commit a crime or do something. But now that's all that you see, except for these crazy nuts with rifles who go and shoot people at parades. In the cities, you have an unbelievable amount of crime coming from black people. 54%. So black people commit 54% of the crime in the United States of America. That is an FBI statistic. 54%. They make up 12% of the population. That's a hell of a lot of crime for a small group of people. And people look the other way. People look the other way. So, what's the Democratic angle? Because I can go back in Democratic history. They started the KKK, the Jim Crow laws, all that. Everything racist back in the day had been the Democratic rule. Democrats have voted for these things. They fought Republicans on these things, right? Republicans no angels either. But see now in the conservative life, you put the blame where the blame belongs, and you don't go out of your way to rescue someone who is guilty, a criminal. You don't do it, right? You go out of your way to help innocent people, go out of your way to help victims, but not the criminals. I don't look at criminals like, hey, I can save you. There's no time to save you, buddy. There's no time. And if you're not willing to function in our society and be at least a neutral part of it, if you're going to go out and you're going to hurt people and victimize people, we're going to put you in a place where you can't do that anymore. And that's it. It's become the opposite. Now in the city they're releasing you got this DA who is funded by George Soros. That's how he got all that money, right? He's sitting there releasing everybody. Has these very, very liberal. There's very liberal judges that got voted in down there. They're releasing people to the streets. They think it's a black thing or a Latino thing. They committed a crime. Oh, they're innocent. You gotta let them go. You know what I mean? And the thing is, they're not helping those criminals. They're not helping the neighborhood they go back to. They're not helping everything. And these people are usually very wealthy people, the ones in charge. They go back to their safe neighborhood, no crack in the street, no meth being sold, no hookers walking up and down the block, nothing like that. No mass murders, no nothing, basically. They've no gang violence, nothing like that. You're not going to see a change until all that starts to pour over in those communities. I remember Rudolph Giuliani, right? Had a plan to get rid of all the rats in New York City. Now there's a lot of rats. I've been chased by rats in New York City, a rat anyway. And I was with my friend, and he was a cop, and he had a gun strapped to his ankle, stupid ankle holster. I told him how useless that thing is, and this huge rat, like 100 pounds, like running after us, man. Then we ran to this bodega, and then this is before cell phones. We asked if the guy had a phone. He started speaking a different language altogether. Not even Spanish. I don't know what the hell he was saying. I'm like, what country is this, man? I can't even call 911 about a giant rat. Oh my god. But yeah, luckily the rat ran after somebody else and attacked them. You run the other way from the screams. Anyway, so Giuliani had a plan to get rid of all the rats, right? And he had hired all these exterminators to start dropping bombs in the tunnels. Now, I don't know if you know about New York City. New York City was built over another New York City. There's a New York City under New York City. They thought it was best, instead of knocking everything down, just to kind of build on top of it. So you have a lot of places that have catacombs, spaces underneath and all kinds of stuff, man. In fact, if you go into the Limelight, used to be called Limelight. I don't know what it is now. Is a church. It was a club, in the city. If you go down in that basement, there's entrances that go into these catacombs that will go on for miles, literally. I know people that had said they've explored them, found all kinds of crazy monsters down there, whatever, chupacabra, alligators, lizard man, whatever. But the one thing that's down there for sure is rats. There's rats all over. So Giuliani starts bombing the rats. Boom, 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 boom. And he's moving all the rats one direction. Yeah, they're going north. So at one point, all these rats start pouring over into Westchester, into the nice neighborhoods. There was like thousands of rats running through these neighborhoods in their pools and in their barbecue grills, crawling all over. People, you'll read the stories. It's funny as hell. People were flipping out that this was going on. He had to stop trying to get rid of the rats because of that wealthy set didn't want rats in their yard. So that's the deal. They don't want the rats, but they're happy for you to live with them. They're happy not to find a solution either. So aside from Trump's raid, do I feel bad for him? No, I don't feel bad. I see everybody's got butt hurt. It's like watching some kind of twisted tennis game. Like one side, the other side, and butt hurt this and butt hurt that. After that, there's another butt hurt, whatever. I know how the system works, and it's crap, pure crap. Like Nancy Pelosi going into Taiwan. The only thing she really did was take a big, hot, steaming poop in the bed and leave. Told the Amber Heard, and she took off. She actually took her son, Paulie, all these places, and he's got this lithium. He's the head of 2 lithium mines. It's interesting that Pelosi's son has that much power, right? And of course he does, because this is the political elite that doesn't have any rules or laws, and this is what they do. Like a hunter, Paulie's kind of the same ilk. So, but then she just mysteriously took him along to this Taiwan visit. He's not a dignitary. He's not a political strategist. He's not her advisor. He's just her son, right? And then he met with all these people who are in Taiwan, where they manufacture lithium batteries, and other places where he can get access to lithium mines. So for him, it was a business trip that she took him along. That's how it works. That's how it works. You know. But this is a story about real people. This is how desensitized New Yorkers are. Right? Here's the headline: New Yorkers barely flinch as naked man strolls through the subway station. Now, in a place where there's supposed to be police all the time. In fact, Adams split them up. Instead of having patrols of 2, now they only have patrols of 1. And those patrols of 1 are getting their asses kicked and getting beaten up and having their guns taken from them because these other guys know they can gang up on them. Right? So, yeah, here's a naked guy. It's just another day in New York City. New Yorkers barely flinch Thursday as a naked man wearing nothing but dress socks. Dress socks, at least he's classy, right? Strolled through a Manhattan subway station and onto the street. Wonder where he carries his change. What do you think? Jaded strap hangers seemed unsurprised and at seeing the apparent disturbed man as he sauntered out of a number 6 train car and onto the City Hall subway station platform at about 9 a.m. He's going to work. He probably works for the city. He probably works for the mayor. This is mayor's advisor right here. Some didn't even look up from their phones, while others glanced at the scene, giving little reaction, either oblivious. See, that's why I say, if this happened in Kansas, people would be losing their minds. You know what I mean? The man walked out of the station and marched right up to officer, was seen calling for help, and so he walked right up. He walked right up to a uniformed officer who was calling for help. Help! 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 I'm in the tunnel with a naked man. Help! I wasn't trained for this type of thing. Help! It was one police plaza. They only had one cop there. I guess that makes sense. Help! That is funny. If you ever listen to the show, you listen to me, man. I say every time I went to New York City, I ran into somebody crazy. This guy, I probably ran into this guy at some point. Every time I ran into somebody crazy. You know that? The unidentified man course, he's identified. He doesn't have any pockets. Maybe he's just a nudist. You know what I mean? Like it's a liberal kingdom, isn't it? You can be a nudist. These two subway workers looking at each other like, man, this sucks. Man, this sucks. This naked guy right between them looking like a zombie. Got zombie eyes. Yeah, he's crazy. He's Fruit Loops, man. You know what I mean? That's Charles Manson eating Fruit Loops on your front lawn. That's what this guy is. And he deserves to be treated decently and locked up in a mental institution where he can be treated, where he's not walking around the subway naked. It's pretty hot down there, though. So he's taken to Bellevue Hospital for examination. They'll examine him, they'll give him a skirt, and they'll let him go. You know what I mean? No further details were available. These people. I guess that's probably the best thing that could happen, best horrible thing in the subway, because people getting pushed in front of trains and robbed and killed and stabbed and whatever. Let's see. It's not the first time someone stripped down to nothing but footwear in the city. Let's see. There was a photograph showed a snoozing man on the E train wearing only beat up sneakers and sweat socks. A Jerry Seinfeld episode. He was sitting on a subway and there was this like heavy dude sitting across from him reading the paper. Jerry Seinfeld falls asleep on the train, which you never ever do. That's how you can tell it's such not a New York thing. You don't fall asleep on that train, because if you do, you know what that saying is? You snooze, you lose, man. That's how that came from. That came from that. You know, you fall asleep on a train, they'll take all your stuff. They'll take all your stuff. They'll cut your pockets out and take your wallet, man. You know, I mean, these guys walk around with razor blades. They cut women's like pocketbook, whatever, shoulder straps. They don't even know it's gone. Witnesses at the time said the man dozed off between swigs of Jack Daniels and seeming not to care. Jack Daniels, that's also unusual for the subway. You would think night train or something 40 ounce, something a little cheaper, some malt liquor type of action. But Jerry Seinfeld wakes up, and then the guy across from him is naked. Then he starts talking to him normal about sports. Then they end up hanging out, going to Coney Island. The guy puts his clothes back on. And all those people were at one end of the train watching this naked guy, starring Seinfeld. In this situation, nobody even got out of the way. So, but what does it say about our society? What does it say about what even the politics, the extreme liberalism versus conservative? What about middle of the road intelligence? About having a brain and being able to be like, hey, this isn't right. What we're allowing to happen, it's not right. So same for Joe Biden. Same for him and his cognitive decline. It's not funny, man. And I see on Fox they're like laughing. This is the commander of our country. It's not funny that this guy has gone this far. He's messed up. He's messed up. You know, he's got a lot of problems. He needs to step down. And then you got the cackling Kamala. But the Democrats made this mess through lies, deceit, everything. They made this mess. Trump made the mess too. I'm not going to let him get away. But a gleaming a bit of sunshine popped up on my headline screen. I said Kim Kardashian broke up with Pete Davidson. Now, I predicted their relationship wasn't going to last more than 6 months. I also said the only reason why she dated him because that's the best guy that she could find to get back at her ex, which if you know women, you know that's what they do, man. Who can I get if it's, when they're young, they do it about the parents. Who can I date? It's going to be the worst possible person. Not all women. I'm not going to put you all in the same boat. But these types of women, the Kardashian types, the people who worship them, the people who want to be like them, the ones who live that life, right? But this woman is very wealthy. She has it all herself. She doesn't need Pete Davidson. He was a funny monkey to make her laugh in her breakup from her marriage to Kanye, who is about 18 different types of crazy, right? So then you get the Kanye coming after you. Now, if I was Pete Davidson, I know that it's a temp job. You're the transition guy. I'm just the funny monkey to tickle her ass and make her laugh. He probably, I will bet cash that he did not even get to third base, maybe second, maybe. Maybe he got to play with some, boomba boomba. And then that's why he hung in there so long, man. And or he liked the spotlight because I know Pete Davidson as kind of a not a good character. You know what I mean? He's from Saturday Night Live. I don't watch Saturday Night Live, and last time I watched it, it was good, which was decades ago. Decades. It's been a long time since Saturday Night Live had been funny or original or any of that. So, but Pete Davidson, I just know him as the kind of the druggy tattooed guy. And I've seen him on talk shows. I don't find him to be funny. He'd make me laugh, but obviously there's some kind of appeal about him since he's famous, right? He's out there. He got the right time in the right place. A lot of times when it comes to fame and fortune and all that, you really need to be in the right time in the right place. I mean, when I was reviewing bands for Good Times Magazine on Long Island, I was an entertainment writer. I went out, reviewed probably thousands of bands over those years. I was a judge in a new music seminar in New York City for 2 years. Was judge Long Island Songwriters Competition, Long Island Battle of the Band, all that. So I've been around. Just say I've been around the block when it comes to these people. There's bands that and you run into that are so talented, so amazing. They just don't get famous. They don't get noticed. They're not out there, especially back in the day. There was no internet. There was no easy access. You were dealing with record companies exclusively looking for that nice contract from A&R, and then produce your albums or whatever, and they take most of your money. So that's the way it's always been with that. So then you got a lot of these types that sometimes you'll just hit it right. Kid Rock. Come on, man. Kid Rock, really? When Kid Rock got famous, I said on my show at the time that it had to have been a bet between two record company executives saying, I bet you I could make this guy famous. And the other one saying, I bet you can't. And it comes down to exposure, comes down to publicity, getting people. If you want to get famous, you got to get in front of people to get famous, like all these influencers. Because most of these influencers don't make any money. And some do, most of them don't. Even with YouTube, it used to be you can make money on YouTube. You really can't anymore. You need a couple million people to be following you and liking your thing. YouTube really screwed the pooch when they took everybody's money away from them who was making money off of them. So anyway, Kim Kardashian's relationship with Pete Davidson got hot and heavy quickly. Not really. I only saw one part where she's like, "You want to take a shower with me?" And she said that in front of a camera, right? She knows that Kanye is sitting there watching that. Everything she says and does, she knows. It's like my ex who listens to all my shows and she hates me, but she listens to all these shows and she's commenting on them. And I can only think, you got to listen to every minute's worth of show to see what the hell I say. You got to stop talking about me. I don't mention her name and nothing. I just talk about how I feel from the relationship, which is a valid point of view because it's important how you feel, male or female. Men are knocked to the wayside. Men are beaten down by the politically correct society. And then just look at commercials. You want to know how people think of men? Oh, the women are the smart, strong, intelligent ones in commercials. The men are weak, stupid, and just clowns. They're clowns. And the second that you're in a relationship and you let that partner think that about you, it's over. It's over. And they're not in it because they love you. They're in it because you're they're a servant, monkey, whatever the hell you do for them. You know what I mean? So Kim Kardashian's relationship got over. And let's see, the 41-year-old reality star and the Saturday Night Live comedian burned out quickly. But there is another glaring sign that things weren't going to work: their age gap. So now it's funny how they're putting all this out there. They're not ever going to put the truth out there of why she really separated, got away from this dude. But they're going to say all these other things and lead people down that path. But this gets really funny because this guy starts dating her. Then you got this Kanye West, well-known. I don't know what he does. Rap clothes. I see him posing and doing all kinds of stuff. He's another guy who never really truly deserved to be famous, but he was in the right place at the right time. I think if you're also when you're that crazy and you're in people's faces, they tend to sign the contract. You know what I mean? They're scared. You know, just whatever he wants, give it to him. Just get him out of here. That type of thing. All right. So Kim and Peter Dunn, he called him Skeet. That's what Kanye. Now Pete Davidson took it to heart. All the Kanye stuff. He threatened him. He threatened to kill him on his albums. Oh man, but without me, I'd be like, this is a temp job, and I don't care if I lose it. You know, I got one objective is to get to the valleys and down the mountains to the valley below. That's every guy's objective. If you don't know about that about guys, then you don't know guys. And if you don't know that, you got to know how to ensnare that. For the women out there, you know, you're still feeling your DNA, no matter what commercials say. Same for men. Men and women are created differently. Not everybody's created equal. That's the lie. You know, men are stronger. Men have other things that women don't have. Women got things that men don't have. That's why we all bring them together in a happy, joyful life type of thing. Togetherness. Two halves making a whole. Whatever, right? That's the deal when it comes to men and women. Right? But in this case, it's different. She had all the power. You know what I mean? This guy, she knew exactly, you know, guy's 28 years old, and you know, he's acting in movies, he's doing this, he's doing that. I don't really see him. The most I've seen of Pete Davidson has been things about her. You know, the cameras follow her, Kim Kardashian. They don't follow him. Now, the fact that this is what's going to happen too, mark my words. She rejected him. Now, in a relationship, when you're dating someone beautiful, every woman wants to be with you. They throw themselves at you, you know? Are you still with Shayna? Yep. Oh, I've got to get in.
I've got to get in on this action. Must be something about you that she likes. Want to play with my biscuits?
Yeah. And the guy's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll play with your biscuits. Here, my penis is talking to me and he's saying some good stuff. Whoa, let's go. Let's go out to my Volkswagen and get busy. Yeah, man. Get busy at the Volkswagen. My Volkswagen's rocking. Don't come and knocking. So she got the power. The only way you can subside that, or the only way you can battle that kind of power, if you're just some, she's like this big wizard with the, you're little tiny Skeet Pete Davidson. You got Kanye stomping on you. This guy, Kanye, bought a mansion across the street just so he could spy on them. If it's like that, take the opportunity to make the other guys a living life, a living hell. Make, you know, tell Kanye, I got this. Don't worry. I took up your place. Says she likes me better anyway. You know what I mean? I mean, you can go down because this guy was so overly sensitive. Those are the best. I'm evil, so when it comes to me, it's different. It's different when it comes to me. You admit your weaknesses.
Oh, so you're telling me all your weaknesses up front.
Yeah, you goddamn right. Tell me your weaknesses, man. That's why you should never tell a woman your weaknesses when you're in a relationship because they don't want to hear it. Oh, you had this happened to you when you were a kid or whatever. They don't care. The only thing they care about, they'll take that information and use it against you in the future to hurt you with it, man. That's like just handing them the gun and the ammunition. This is like kill you in the future. Don't tell them anything, man. Play your cards close to your chest. Keep everything bright and fresh and normal. That's the way you got to do it. But Pete Davidson, this dude should have been hanging out with a paparazzi, hanging out, running around. Everything for him. Get my face and my name out there. Not for being the coffee table, you know, with arms and legs. I'm sure she put her feet up on him. That's why I had said in the beginning, he was just the monkey. He was just a court jester, something to make her laugh until she could get away from that, right? and then became a liability because let's face it, he's Pete Davidson. Nobody truly believed that they were together in a relationship. They, anybody with a brain would have saw the way it was and what happened. He was just using him to get back at Kanye. All right, let's see. Here it goes. Even though Kim and Davidson are done, there's no denying their huge attraction and strong connection throughout their 6 months together. However, there's always a however or a but or whatever. Once the 28-year-old actor temporarily relocated to Australia to film Wizards, it became clear that they were at different stages of their lives. Yeah, right. These guys make their whole time flying in private planes, flying around. They love that stuff just to get into the private plane and fly around. So you can blame all these different things. In the articles, they're not even going to tell the truth because he's just done. He's done because he's done. But the guy's kind of a lightweight when it comes to people. And even though he's 28, the problem is with young people today. 28's like 15. That's the mentality. They don't want people to grow up. If you grow up, you start asking questions on your government, start asking questions on everything that's around you and questioning people's actions. They don't want that. They want you to be stupid and they want you to be able to vote. And then as long as you believe their BS, that's what that is. It's always been like that, always. And I don't know why anybody thinks it's going to be different because the same people, the same mentality that's in charge has been in charge, right? Let's see. Plus, don't forget, she's got 4 kids needing their mommy, and also, how about 8 nannies? Something like that. That whole gaggle get on that private plane. They don't care. They love doing that stuff. So, all right. This guy Kanye, does he ever smile? If he does, I don't know. I don't want to know he's smiling at. All right, let me get down to this is the funnier part. Because I like it, because I like it, because I like it. I look at these people and I think they've got a lot of stress in their lives. It makes me feel better about my life. Because I got stress, but not their kind of stress. Even though they're rich and famous and whatever, man, that all comes with a price tag too. If you know you have enough, you're rich. That's an old saying. All right. And there are people that have it all that want more. I call them want mores. They're the most dangerous people that you can find on any level. If they're young, old, back, whatever they are, up and down, back and forth. If they're poor and they want to get there, if they're rich and they want to get there, they want mores. Okay. So now Pete Davidson has been in therapy. Because Kanye bullied him, right? Kim Kardashian is very supportive of Pete Davidson's decision to seek help after being bullied by her ex-husband, Kanye West. Now, I'm going to say this guy has got to be the biggest wuss that I've ever even thought about encountering. The exes attacking you and his albums and whatever. You're famous. You're Hollywood. You know what Hollywood does. This guy's playing his game, and you're looking at therapy. I need therapy.
I need therapy because I'm Pete Davidson and I feel bad that Kanye is making fun of me, even though I'm a comedian that makes fun of other people.
That's what gets me. This dude makes fun of other people. I've seen him go after that congressman's eye patch, the one who was in the war, lost his eye, has an eye patch, and he was making fun of that on Saturday Night Live. That's the only time I've ever seen these things come out is when these guys are messing with other people, putting other people down. And it's not, it's not funny. It's just vicious and mean. And like Mad Magazine, when I was young, was very funny, always political, very funny. Then just recently, I've seen a few copies, and they're just mean. They're nasty, And I think like television shows back in the day were funny and they were light. Even when they were being serious, even when they were laying down some serious stuff, they weren't mean. These days, have you ever seen The Office? The people are mean. They're mean to each other. The guy is mean and nasty, and the whatever. The whole show focuses on this couple, right? And one girl's cheating on her, this and whatever, and the other guy knows she has this and going out. It's like the very worst of people, and you're going to put it out there. And there's also good in people. There's good in people. I've seen it, you know? So Kim is very supportive of Pete going to therapy. Kanye was very detrimental. He was he was posting negative things. Now add thousands and thousands of comments. Someone has to work a deal with that. No, you take a picture of you with your head between the boobs and you put that out there. Hey Kanye, woohoo! You come up with your own name. This guy's a comedian. He should be able to tear Kanye apart in little pieces. Kanye's not a comedian. There's nothing funny about him except what he does. And it's not meant to be funny. You mean to tell me a comedian can't just whip it out like a katana and cut someone to pieces? Come on, especially when you're with his ex. Oh my God. Yes, she left you because you weren't good enough. All you got to do is drop the bomb. Drop the bomb. Hey, Kanye, she left you because you weren't good enough. Okay, I got it, man. I'm in control. She likes how big I am, too. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there, Kanye. He would have went nuts. It would have been my personal job to make the Kanye's head explode. Just keep making, and all those comments and whatever, I go make my own comments on this thing. I'm with your girl right now, your ex-girl, and she's good. And she's good. What difference does it make? You going to piss her off? You know that was going to end anyway, so you may as well go down in flames, man. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go down in flames and let people know that you weren't some coffee table, that you stood up for your rights, and you went after this idiot Kanye. He's the one who made Taylor Swift famous, and that's another one who never deserved to be famous. And you see what happens? And he's the one who did it. Getting death threats from Kanye's fans and all the negative attention online doesn't feel good for the average person. I get death threats all the time, man. It gets normal. Sometimes they're pretty inventive. I'm going to cut you up and put you in a garbage can and bury you. Yeah. Put you in a wood chipper piece by piece. I'm mad. I'm a Christian and I'm mad. You get hate mail from Christians. Jesus did not say the things that you said he said. And Jesus is not gay, you bastard. I'm going to come and hunt you down and cut off your nuts and cook them for dinner. Eat you piece by piece over the next few months and you'll still be alive. You'll still be alive. That's what there is. When I first moved to Ithaca, people told me the story about the school bus driver who drove his bus through a movie theater because they were showing The Last Temptation of Christ. Oh my God. People can't take a joke? What do you think? Do you think that God didn't invent humor? What else do we have? You tell me that. What else do you got? They can take everything from you. Not that. Getting death threats. I would have flipped the switch in 2 seconds against Kanye. That would have been a lot of fun. I'd be outside of his house with a bullhorn, yelling, "I'm with your girl. I'm with your girl. I play her butt like a bongo every night. We like to eat Oreos off each other's chests. Yeah, yeah, yeah." Even if he had that sex where he just, guys lie anyway. Did you get her? Yeah. You know they didn't. In 2018, let's see. Davidson's always been open about his mental health issues. In 2018, he caused a panic by writing on Instagram, "I don't really feel," let me do this, man.
"I don't really feel like I want to be on Earth anymore. I actually don't know how much longer I can last. All I've ever tried to do was help people, and they fucking suck."
So, dude, you need to be happy unto yourself, man. Screw people. You know what I mean? Be happy unto yourself. I don't know, man. I think Pete Davidson needs a session with me. I won't charge him much. You know what I mean? We'll talk about, I'll counsel him all kinds of stuff, especially women. Tell him how to be happy. I can tell him how to be happy. And it's not hanging out with a therapist. Nobody ever said that they were happy after doing that, man. I think it's the opposite. Let's see. All right. In fact, he praised West, who also publicly struggled with mental health problems, for being open about them. That's what the problem is. All this feel-good stuff, open about your problems.
Oh, Kanye, I feel sorry because you're a goddamn mental freak.
My favorite backward apology. Whenever people demand an apology,
I'm sorry you're an asshole. I'm sorry that you made me say the things I said. And if you make me say it again, I'm going to be twice as nasty.
I can't explain to you enough. Here we go. Bravo, Kanye West. I gotta do it.
Bravo, Kanye West, for standing up for yourself and speaking out against mental health.
All right.
I can't explain to you enough how difficult and scary it is to be honest about stuff like this. We need people like Kanye West.
Says the guy in a mental institution. Yeah, you need Kanye West like a hole in the head. No, you need to eat. You need to use the bathroom. You need to sleep. You don't need Kanye West. Nobody ever needed Kanye West. I hate to break it to you. This is the guy's problem because he's a big wussy, and he's a wussy out in the open. He should have gone the opposite direction, Her
Kim Kardashian's breasts are my therapy, and I get therapy all day and all night long. Kanye, watching from across the street, I'm gonna dance naked with your girl in the window and show the world our love.
So yeah, after Kardashian and Davidson ended their relationship, West reacted by posting on Davidson's fake death. Posting about Davidson's fake death on Instagram, and sources told us Kardashian was livid and incredibly upset. Davidson hasn't publicly responded to the post, but sources told us Kardashian refuses to tolerate.
He posted about my death.
Oh my God. I think social media doesn't help anybody, huh? Meanwhile, Davidson has been working on a film in Australia for about 3 months, where he's been able to heal like a normal person.
I'm healing in Australia with the Aborigines who got completely fucked by the white man, and now they gotta deal with my crazy addicted shit, and I'm Kardashian free, and I don't wanna be. God damn it. Hanging out with kangaroos, they're fucked up.
That was Pete Davidson talking, not me. I never use that much profanity, not ever in my life. The distance from the public eye has been good in a way. Oh my God. Ever hear an actor say that? You hear an actor say that when their career is over. The distance from the public eye is good. I'm happy I'm not in stuff anymore. I'm happy I'm making some crap movie in Australia no one's ever going to see. I never even seen a movie with Pete Davidson. He was in one movie. They floated the king of Staten Island. One of the worst places that you can even claim. New Jersey and New York don't want Staten Island, It's a thing. Might be some good pizza there, but that's it. That's it. And your average Staten Islander is shaking their head listening to me. Yes, right now. Yes. New York hates Staten Island so much they put a really expensive bridge in between. People need to come over to New York. You got to pay. Like 20-something bucks. Let's see. Despite the rapper roiling in Davidson's health, sources insist that West did not cause his split from Kardashian. Multiple sources attributed the breakups due to distance and schedules. You know what it was? It was she was done with the monkey. He's boring. Now she wants to move on to someone who's handsome and whatever, and more the sexual compatibility with the Kardashian, right? Just saying, somebody who can afford the sports car. Let's just say that somebody who can afford the sports car, right? And afford to maintain it, because you know those old sports cars. That sports car is 41. Those things need a lot of work. She got a lot of miles on there. You know what I mean? Plus her porno online. Isn't there a couple pornos that she did? That's what made her famous to begin with. Yeah, yeah. As much as they both want the relationship to work and enjoy being together when they could be. How often do you think they were together really? I mean, in all these months, really, with both of their schedules, how often do you think they were together? So it was just a relationship. There, me personally, I couldn't think of anybody in Hollywood that she could have dated that would get back at Kanye more than this dude. You know what I mean? So yes, thank you. So I mean, we reported on this in the beginning. We reported on this now, and we've come full circle, man. So so that's it. And what's going on in Ukraine? I don't know. Kim Jong Un in North Korea pledged 100,000 troops. If that ever comes to fruition, that'll be a whole new thing. But that's my quick Ukraine. Ukraine's losing ratings with me. You know what I mean? So I like it. I'm a quick clicker in the action type of guy. You know what I mean? Click on something and click on something else. That's the way it's been. The only thing people will tolerate is watching television for long lengths of time. But even so, you're flipping the channels, clicking, flipping, whatever you do. So click and flip and do what you got to do. I'll see you guys next week on this here show. I want to talk about Brittany Griner. Oh, yeah, I never even read that article. We'll read this article next week, and it'll really piss you off the way people think. By the way, the same university in San Diego, it also teaches a course on pedophiles, and they call it a lifestyle choice, being a pedophile. That's how sick and twisted they are, but yet they function and they operate and they poison your kids' minds. I'll see you guys next week on this here red pill nose. Take the red pill, take the red pill, take the red pill. Good night, good night, good night, good morning, whatever it is for you. Adios, muchachos. Gracias.